DC Multiverse!
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad, the DC Universe Geek, and today you've tuned in to watch my review of the McFarlane Collector's Edition DC Multiverse Superman and Krypto 2-pack. Well, it's kind of a 2-pack. If you consider the dog another figure, I guess not. It's not really a 2-pack. It's like a 1.5-pack. Anyway, the packaging isn't really something we have to talk about because we've seen this for the entirety of the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse run. Black, white, blue. The back has an image that will also be the same as the trading card, and the side has the names and where the character is supposed to be from. In this case, the return of Superman. All pretty standard fare. Now, let's yoink him out of the box. There are people at home right now that are like, why are you cutting the box like that? Because it's fun. It's fun. But enough about that. I mean, we're really all here to see the figure and everything that came in the package. So, first of all, here is Supes. If it is, the head is not actually in tune with the body. It's a little bit too small when you compare. Well, we'll get into that a little bit later. Of course, we have Krypto, and apparently some hands that he has retrieved for the Man of Steel. And, of course, the trading card, which is the exact same image as the back of the box. I like these trading cards, because you have that writing down the bottom rather than the outside, and then you've got the back of the trading card, which has the bio on the back, which you can read if you choose to, or not. And of course it comes with this here trading card display base. I really have no idea what I'm going to do with all these. They're adding up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, these all aren't from, I mean, I've bought multiples of the same figure sometimes, but I mean, there are a lot. There are a lot. What am I going to do with these? Krypto is actually pretty cool. I just kind of wish that, you know, perhaps Krypto had some articulation points rather than just being a straight up mold of a white dog. I mean, I suppose as far as straight up molds of white dogs go, it's pretty good. I mean, it looks like Krypto's face as far as I'm concerned. He's got a nice super dog collar down there, which is accurate. It would have been a really cool thing if this cape was wired so that it could stick out like it usually does. It's not usually just hanging there like that. It's usually, you know, up or flapping or whatever. There's usually motion to keep the cape from just hanging on his back. And it really, really did need the S on the back to complete that look. Maybe I'll try to use this cape right here and somehow find a way to tuck it in there. Of course I'll find a way. That's what I do. I shouldn't say he has no articulation, though. You can turn his head around. Not that that's really useful. And what about Soupy? Well, I think that this is a great body. I really do like this body. And it's nice to see it being used again with this much, much lighter classic Silver Age style blue. You'll have to pardon the head swap, but it is the same body as the darker blue version that they used for the Dark Knight Returns Superman. That's not the head that came on the body. But they are exactly the same body buck. 100% reuse. Which is a little funny, because when it comes to the logo on the chest right here, well, that's accurate to the Dark Knight Returns version of the character. However, when we get to the Return of Superman version, this S, although it's cool looking, is not accurate to the kind of S that he wore on his chest in that storyline. But I am loving this Silver Age blue. This Silver Age blue looks really, really sweet. And the nice red also looks really cool as well. I really like this color scheme. Call me a sucker for lighter blue. I just always have been. And believe me, this is a nice light blue. This is the Superman that came in the 2-pack with the atomic skull. And it was nice and light in comparison to the original time this body buck had been used. Even a tad lighter than the Hush Superman body buck. And even more lighter blue than the Action Comics issue 1 body buck. I mean, yes, I realize that this has been heavily customized, but underneath the customization is the original body buck and blue color. I think that this baby blue version might be our lightest one to date. Now the head that comes on this body, well, that's a McFarlane Toys mainstay. It's the same sculpt that's been used over and over and over and over again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It is a good head sculpt. The eyes have been painted a little bit different this time. Same thing with the eyebrows and the facial tone. Mine does have a nice scratcheroo on the nose. That's sure nice. But with this one, we do get that classic mullet. I am loving every second of this mullet that Soups has here. This is fantastic. This is the 90s right here. This is the quintessential 90s Superman. I mean, yeah, people could argue that it's the electric Superman, but honestly, I think it was the long hair that really marked the classic look for the Man of Steel in the 1990s. And besides, you can always pop another head on this body and use the long-haired mullet on your McFarlane Toys black-suited Superman, and voila, you have a passable solar suit Superman. So now it's time to check the articulation. Now I'm sure most of us know what it's going to do because we actually all own the Dark Knight Returns Superman, right? Right? So the head is on that ball peg. We know it's a ball peggian. It's gonna... That's what you're gonna get. And then the waist here and the torso. The torso actually gets a fairly good amount of articulation. I don't like this. I don't like that bump in the tummy, like he's had too much to drink. When it's straight though, you can't see it. Can he T-pose? Yes, he can. No bicep swivels at all on this body buck, but we do get that rotation at the elbow. And as I always say, you guys know that if we can have the articulation at the elbow that at least rotates, then as much as I would like a double jointed elbow, at least we're getting that. We're getting about 90 degrees with a rotation. So could be a lot worse. Could be a lot better, but it could be a lot worse. That wrist, well, rounded hinge. Like, I think we pretty much, I say this every time, but we pretty much know what we're gonna get. I wanna see what we get here. See, this is actually pretty good. By comparison to what we get quite often, this is actually pretty good for a bulky ass figure. And then of course we get double jointed knees and they crunch up good. However, I want to go back and just examine this again. We get the groin and it holds its own. However, with these trunks, what are we going to get for articulation? Well, he can sit on the John Crapper and it's not bad. Could be better, but not bad. And oh look, he has feet and ankles, and those ankles are on the big rounded hinges here, as you can see, as well as having the toe articulation. Well, that's what he gets, and that's what he has. And my dog totally just burst in and was like, yo, dude is licking off of a plate on my floor. It's all right, it's stuff you can eat. Wilson, yo, hey puppy, how you doing, buddy? You coming to say hi? Coming to say hi during the video? Say hi to the super friends. Say hi, super friends. So what do I think about this figure? Honestly, I really like it, but not for the reasons that you would think. It's not because this figure really evokes the whole Return of Superman vibe to me, because this one really evokes the whole, remember that time Superman got really gigantic and overpowered and roid rage looking? Yeah, that's what this one looks like to me. He's just really, really bulky, and in my opinion, too bulky to be used as a basic comic book universe Superman. As a Frank Miller Superman, perfect. Regular comic, not so much. I feel like they could have just given us the Action Comics 1000 body buck in this exact same color palette, and fans would have loved it. Because he's so big, as much as I'm digging this figure, I'm using the head and the body for two different customs, and the proportions are just not there. They're off, I say. The body proportions to the head are off. They're weird. But other than that, I mean, sure, I like it. If you see it hanging around on the pegs, loitering in the toy department, bring him home with you because, well, you've seen the review. It's a damn cool figure. Anyway, have yourself a super awesome DC day, and take care, everybody. Bye-bye.